Welcome back to the adventures of Mac and Anthea and part 7 of our Northern Spain adventure 2025. In this episode we go on a mountaintop bicycle ride to visit a beautiful meadow, go hunting for bears and visit one of the few remaining medieval villages in Spain. Good morning and welcome back. We're still at the park up, which is where we did the walk from the other day. And we're off on another activity. Today's going to be a bike ride, so let's get going. I'll fill you in along the way. And here we go. So we're on our way and not a moment too soon. It takes quite a lot of setting up in the morning, and Anthea was getting fed up of waiting and was threatening to go back to bed, so yeah, not a moment too soon. So this should be a fairly easy trail, or certainly not a demanding one, like a technical one. So we're on Dutch and Pebbles this morning, and Dangerous Brian's sitting this one out. So this ride today starts out by retracing the final section of the walk we did the other day. So we're sort of going around the walk in reverse to start with. We're coming up to the village of Losango, and this sort of funny junction here where I warned everybody to be careful not to sort of turn right up there, which would be left if you're coming the opposite way, and carry on down this road. That was a mistake we made last time and ended up doing about 5-6 kilometres more than we had to. So we come up to a junction, never been up that road there to see what that one's like, and we're going to turn a right to the village I can never remember the name of. So we're quite glad to be out on the ride and doing some exercise today. Yesterday, which was the day after the walk, we just relaxed and I did some editing, but gradually as the day went on our muscles started to ache and get sore. We really could have done with getting up first thing and doing, say, a couple of kilometres just to pump the lactic acid out the muscles and put some blood around, and probably would have stopped some of the aching. But anyway, today we'll certainly be pumping our muscles today, so hopefully it'll get rid of some of the aches. Okay, and as you look here to the right here, this is where we went up that steep trail at the end of the walk. And we're back into this village, and it's Pedro Bella. I hope I pronounced that correct. Lovely little bar here with all the grain stores. And with a blink of an eye we're out again. Okay, and we're coming up to the church that we stopped at in the walk the other day. That's the way down to the walk. So I'm going to get you a bit of a better view in a minute. I'll get my arm out of the way. No, not really. We came up from down that gully there, but we're going up this way today. Now, this ride was one I found by accident, and it was actually when I was on Wikilocks, I did the difficult trail which takes you up through that walk trail again, which of course for the most part is unpassable by bicycle. You spend most of your time carrying and pushing the bike. So yeah, one of those like the one we had recently. And I ended up going up here, and then there was more carrying and pushing, taking you across sort of the fields, sort of over around in that direction. So I bailed, I was on battery, it started to rain. It's just one of those, bicycle rides from hell. And I managed to find my way back by road, trying to just use my basic sense of direction because of course Google Maps weren't working, no cell service. So yeah, it was one of those. But the good thing that happened is I got lost right up into the mountains, and it took me up to a beautiful pasture right high up in these mountains. You can see above us it sort of plateaus out, and there's like a basin of a pasture there, and it's absolutely stunning, and that's what we're going to go look at today. Okay, and after a beautiful ride down through those lanes and all the green trees arching up over us, we've finally arrived at this little hamlet. I'm not sure of the name. It might give us a sign and give us a clue in a minute, but if not, I'll write it in subtitles later. Tiny place. La Rebollado. Yada. Yeah, totally butchered that. Okay, so I may remember this distinctly, even though it's probably a couple of years. And we're going to take a hard left here. I haven't got much choice, it's a dead end down there. So this is quite steep, this trail from this point on. I mean, to the point where you're off in power assist 9 and you still can keep the front end down on the ground. which should be alright for Anthea because it is still quite decent gravel. It's certainly going to be a good test of the battery on this the other day. From when we went up to the chapel, I was out to battery, or sort of down to 1 bar by the time we got to the top. Anthea still had 3. Now I'm normally a little bit behind her, but not completely. Oh, bloody dogs again. Okay, and now we start to get really steep. Leaning over the handlebars to keep the front end down on the ground. Anthea's bike should be a little bit better than mine because her handlebars are lower. But we're on past this 9. So yeah, very steep. Okay, back there. Having to put quite a bit of effort in with the legs as well. It's turned from pedal assist from the motor to us through leg assist to the motor. Come on then. Up, up, up. Yeah, on pedal assist 9, I've dropped a bar. And yep, over the cattle grid, onto gravel trail. And even though there are some steep bits on this, I seem to remember it not being too bad. Oh, Anthea's been brave that time. She normally gets off, but she's just gritted her teeth and going straight over it. Ah, this is nice. Let's start to level out a bit and ease off the pedal assist. There we go, lovely. So Anthea's just lost 1 bar. I lost 1 bar the way back, but that's normal for us. I normally lose 1, and then a few minutes later she loses 1. Because her battery's a bit younger than mine. Also, you've got to bear in mind there's probably 25 kilos difference between the two of us. The bike's about the same weight as mine, even though hers is aluminium, mine's steel. But I'm 20 kilos more than Anthea, and then I've probably got quite a lot of kit on as well. Although I think maybe she's carrying more today because she's got the chairs. But anyway, yeah, there's at least 20 kilos difference, and of course that's going to make a difference to how hard the motor works and how much battery we use. I'll stop on the bend in a minute and give you a look at the view. So we've just come up from there. We've got to go up there yet through that sort of V at the top there. But look at this. Look at this view, absolutely stunning. Beautiful. A little house really over there. Someone would live there at some time. Look at it, right in the middle of nowhere under those trees. What a wonderful spot. Okay, so we're going to break, a little bit of water I think, and then get on our way. Okay, so we're moving again. I helped Anthea set off. Intent on these bikes is disconnect the brake sensors soon. We've got enough experience under our belt not to use them anymore. I didn't fit them at all on Dangerous Brian, and it's been a great success for the hill starts. You're in that situation often with your brake sensors. You hold your brakes on, you stop pedaling, you wobble, you pull them back on again, and it stops the motor. So yeah, disconnected and then use the front throttle is brilliant and a lot safer way to start off on steep gradients. Okay, and this is exactly how I remember it. Through this little gap here in the rock and onto open meadow. Okay, and so we're into the pasture at the top, which I remembered in this sort of little basin here. And last time I went right up to that hump there before I realised that I couldn't go any further and I'd taken the wrong route. Seems to be a little sign over here I missed last time. We're not going down this way, but I thought I'd stop and have a quick look. I seem to remember there being a little, building around here somewhere as well. Well, not sure what that sign said, but he doesn't say it now. If indeed it is a sign. Just wait there a minute, Anthea. Ah, no, it's a nesting box. That's what it is, nesting box up there. Okay, so we're planning to get up to the top of this grassy mound, and that's where we're going to have our picnic. Okay, so we made it to the top. We did push the bikes up on walk mode for the last bit. Don't know about us liking it up here, but the cows certainly do. It's like a cow's toilet around here, so we're probably going to move a little way further for our picnic. But we've come up through that V down there. We went across to check out that nesting box there, which we didn't see the building at the time, but it's got sort of a thatched grass roof on it, straight ahead there. And basically this is the end of it. You're not going anywhere further from here. I suppose you could go up there, but yeah, I think that's basically it. So that's our picnic over. I've got the same problem I had last time. The bracken was a lot higher last time as well, you know, it's sort of waist height. But I remember getting up here when I was lost last time and looking, okay, I'm gonna have to go back on the trail, and looking back from this point, I think, what trail? You know, I couldn't see the trail I come up on, and that's what we've got now. Anthea's having a little search for it, but I think it is over in the corner where she's going. So we're going to make our way back down. I'll bring you in, you know, when there's a really good view and a good scenery, it looks better in the opposite direction. But other than that, you know, I won't repeat the same footage. Okay, that's the worst of it. Off you go on. I'm getting oohs. Same old thing, not steep than it looks. So that brings us to the end of our ride. That's about just over 12 kilometres in total, but obviously half of that's downhill after you've climbed all the way up. So yeah, it went pretty well. Nice little bike ride. We're bike riding again tomorrow, because tomorrow's the day when we're going to go and try and hunt down these bears and see if we can get some pictures of them. Normally we like to do an activity one day and have a rest, so we don't end up going into itinerary overload, you know, and as a lot of people say, you end up with a lot of photos and pictures but not many memories, because you're just not really in the moment if you're rushing around all the time, focused trying to get things done instead of actually enjoying what you're doing. So yeah, we don't want to slip into that trap, and I don't think we do. So we've been discussing whether we're going to move or not. We're in sort of two minds. It's Sunday, whether we're going to get down a bit later on, down to the start point, which is going to be the motorhome service point, and risk it being the circus it often is, you know, overnight and not getting much sleep, or staying up here tonight and going first thing in the morning. I think we'll probably end up staying here tonight, where we pretty much guaranteed a good night's sleep, and get down there sort of early-ish in the morning and get off on the bike ride up to the start point, which is another 6 kilometres to the viewpoint for the bears. So I think we're going to leave it there, and we'll bring you back in the morning. Good morning and welcome back. You joined us on the intro, actually on the road this morning. We stayed at the dreaded motorhome service point last night. The only real place you could stay, you know, and park near to the start of this route we want to do today. Motorhome service point, I'm not going to say any more, but I have to about that, you know, I don't think I need to. Anyway, after a mediocre night's sleep, we're going to go bear hunting. Now, how successful this is going to be, I have no idea. It's a viewpoint known to be able to see bears regularly. Lots of people go up there and watch from that point. We're going by bicycle because despite being parking for a motorhome up there, there's not a great deal of room, and I think it's probably a bit irresponsible to take up so much parking with a huge motorhome when, you know, lots of people want to go there and actually park up and with normal sized vehicles and watch the bears. So yeah, we're coming up on bicycles. We've got it all this morning. We've had leaf blowers to dodge, you couldn't hear us shouting at us, bush cutters, And now we've got the tractor. Let's hope he's going to stop and see us. And another one. And we slide left here apparently. Yeah.
Continue for 3 kilometres.
Mrs. Satnav finally caught us up there. She didn't catch the bottom turning there. I suspect we were probably out of signal. So yeah, this spot we're going to watch, we were meant to come yesterday. But what happened is we woke up, it was really foggy. We thought there's no point climbing up to a viewpoint if all the clouds laying below you or you're in cloud and you can't see a thing, you know, for spotting bears. So we decided to put it off a day. Today was forecast rain, but that seems to have cleared. So we're going to take a bit of a gamble today because it's the last chance we've really got to come and look at the bears before we move out of this area. Plus there is a bonus I picked up when I was looking online. And beyond this viewpoint, after we viewed the bears, there's an example of a surviving medieval village a bit further up, quite famous, you know, so definitely worth a visit. So plan today, let's go, no more than a couple of hours sitting around looking for bears. There's various other wildlife up there as well, and then if we have no joy we'll move on and we'll go and explore this this old medieval village. Okay, so we're steadily climbing up this road, good road. Haven't seen any traffic on it since we've been climbing up it up to now anyway. Yeah, but it's a nice steady road up here, definitely an Anthea road, eh? Yeah, Anthea likes this sort of thing. She likes a, you know, a bit of steep terrain and interesting terrain, but doesn't like it when it gets too rough. But yeah, good steady climb, which of course we were expecting because obviously we're going to a viewpoint. So yeah, we're going to have the inevitable climb, which is nice anyway. You see up ahead there's cloud up in the mountain, so hopefully we're going to stay below that. Otherwise we're not going to be seeing a great deal. So I'd just like to take a moment before we get to this viewpoint to assure our European viewers that although we're going bear hunting, we will not be shooting any bears in this video today. I'd also like to apologise to our American viewers also. Sorry guys, we are not going to be shooting any bears today. So yeah, that's how it is. We're purely going up there to view them. I've got a telescope with me and a tripod. So yeah, we're purely going up there to watch. Pro Athena. Yeah, I saw this on the map and I think we take a turn off here in a minute. Let's see if we've got Mrs. Satnav with us or whether we've lost her. And there we go, with a blink of an eye we're through it. See if I can get this for you. Just check this mountain up here on the left. Disappeared in the cloud up there. Yeah, it does. It looks like the moon's crashed, doesn't it? So we're still climbing. This lovely house here on our right. Beautiful flowers, rhododendrons I think, but not a flower expert. Yeah, what a beautiful spot all on their own. Okay, I've just spotted a cell tower over there, just people out over the top of those trees. So there's no reason why we shouldn't be getting good navigation. Hello. So Mrs. Satnav's just said slide left, and I assume she just means stay on this road.
Continue for 800 metres.
Continue for 800 metres, so we can't be far off. Woo! Whee! 65! Whoa! And I think this is it. Right here. And there's no one here. Which is always nice. Yay! Okay, so we're here. We're not quite sure the best place to park up because we've sort of got some brambles sort of here. Might block our view a bit. We might have to go to the end. Would have liked to avoid the picnic table and I left that for other people, but I think we probably are going to have to take that spot because this is where we've got the clearest view down. So yeah, I think we'll start by trying here. Okay, so we're all set up. We just tried the actual foam bracket that sort of goes on here. Not that great. It looks quite milky, the picture, so I think we're going to be better off just using the lens here, especially, it's not particularly bright today, but obviously the sun comes out, it's going to make it even harder still. So we're going to stick with this and see what we can see. So I'm just going to leave Anthea spotting. There's a Spanish couple, obviously local, who just says if I trudge up here a little way, you can get a good view all the way down the valley. So let's go and have a quick look at that. Oh yeah, I can see the point they're talking about. This would be a good spot to actually put the telescope, but we won't want to leave the bicycles unattended. Oh wow, yeah. Look at that. Okay, so we've done a good hour up here. We've looked at sort of the edge of clearings, all into the brush and, you know, and the edges of the trees and everything, and deep into anywhere where there's sort of you know, sort of a little clearing where we might spot them, but we haven't spotted a thing. So I think an hour's enough, you know, there. So now we're going to continue on up to the medieval village. It's about another 4 kilometres sort of up in that direction. It's not to say that we, you know, we won't get the telescope out again and we have another chance of seeing the, you know, the bears. I mean, the Senda d'Osso is right down below there. There's no way you're going to see it, but I'll try and put an arrow in later. Right between, we can see it for the telescope, actually one of the Senda d'Osso tunnels coming out right in that little gap in the gully right in the bottom there. So yeah, we should be far away from them. I suspect they're all going to come out once we've gone. Okay, so let's get on up and carry on our trip up to the medieval village. And we're off again to the unpronounceable medieval village. Climb, climb, climb.
In 600 meters, turn right.
That doesn't sound right.
In 200 meters, turn right.
Getting gobbledygook out
Continue for 1.5 kilometers.
Getting gobbledygook off of Mrs. Google Maps, telling me to turn right on the hairpin bends and things like that. Anyway, so more of a case for a GPS, I think, which is going to be bought for our next Northern Spain adventures next year. So we're going to have to go for a bit. We can't be far off now. There's another parking spot there as well. Don't think I want to bring the motorhome up here though. Camper van, yeah, no problem, but motorhome, probably not. And this is us. Brilliant, see it there. We were just saying you can't be far away. Quite literally was just around that corner this time. So we might have a little Labradora coming up on our left, on our right rather. Yep, little Labradora. Medieval laundrette. So that sign just said fin de carretera. I'm not sure if you're meant to go much past this point car-wise, but I'm sure we're okay on the bicycles. So we're down in the medieval village. The sign at the top there, it says no access except with authorisation. It's a road sign. So we don't really know whether it's means bicycles as well, or, you know, whether that's just for cars. And I tried to get online to see and I can't because there's no cell reception. So yeah, what we decided to do is push the bikes down, and then if we need to, we use the bikes to climb out. I don't think it means bikes, it doesn't normally in this situation, but we don't know. And the options are we can't leave the bikes at the top unattended, so yeah, that means one of us has to stay behind. So we haven't really got a lot of choice, certainly from our point of view. So we've got a sign near those people there, the Camino Medieval, Senda d'Osso, and I'll pass another Senda d'Osso, and this is the Camino that comes from the Senda d'Osso up to this medieval village, which we've been looking at doing for next year. So yeah, we'll probably do that next year. Okay, just filming that again from there. Yeah, we started filming, of course, every man and his dog comes by. But yeah, look at that, what a beautiful view. So we're going to walk down, we're going to have a look at this tower right into this little bit of the village. I don't know if we're going to go up to the top bit or not. We'll have a look, see what that looks like from down below. But yeah, so it looks interesting. Let's go and have a look. Okay, so that's the medieval tower done. I'm thinking if we go round here in a minute, sort of round here to the right and up that road there, it will go take us up to the church. So we're going to have a look at that next. So Anthea's just waiting with the bicycle. She don't fancy lugging them up here even in walk mode. So have a quick look at the church. Okay, so this is a church, so I've been and had a quick look inside, but there's people in there who seem to be really into it, and I think probably a bit disrespectful going in and filming it while they're having sort of a personal moment in there. So I just filmed from outside, and I know that there's some photos online I can include in this video, which will show the inside without you sort of disrespecting people's privacy in there. Let's see if she's still here or whether she's just ridden off back to the motorhome. No, she's still here. She hasn't deserted me. Not yet, she says. Little Fuente here. Okay, so we've opted to ride back up this. It's a really steep slope, so we don't fancy pushing the bikes up it, even with walk mode. And so we leave the medieval village behind. That's very similarly situated to our village back home in Andalusia, where it's sort of got a dip in the mountains for shelter and it's sort of nestled into it. Yeah, very similar situation. So we just got on the move again. We were umming and ahhing whether we were going to stop and bother setting all the drone up and everything, the bigger drone. We haven't brought the little one today. And we thought, yeah, we can't really come up here and not get some aerial shots, especially back of the medieval village. So we stopped for that for 10 minutes, got that done. Okay, and it looks like we've come up to the top on the return journey again. So for the most part, I think it's all downhill now. So, pedal lift off. Oh, good old breeze blowing through there. Cue rock music. And we're back to the viewpoint again. Stop in. Chihuahua sandwiches here? Yeah. So we just had a quick stop. We decided to stop and have our sandwiches here at the picnic bench here. Nice spot, see if we can spot some bears. Look at little legs on a giant table and chairs there.
Can't reach the floor.
Okay, and we're off again after our sandwiches. Yeah, good for you to park up. Clear behind. Okay, so that brings us to the end of our bike ride. Yeah, great bike ride, that one. Okay, so we're not sure what we're going to do now. We're certainly going to take showers whilst we're, really close to the motorhome service point over there. So we're going to have a good couple of showers each, get unpacked, get loaded, refill all our services again, and then we'll see what time it is. There's another motorhome service point sort of 40 kilometres in the direction we want to be going for our next activity. So we may go there. It will depend on the time, because obviously if you start to get there too late, then you start to be, fighting to find places and things like that. So we'll get on and see what time it is by the time we've finished.